Hello, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for joining us on this version of the DOL Rule Update. I am Joe Corio, Senior Vice President of URL Insurance Group, and I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to be with us today. I would especially like to thank all the agents that have helped us to get 2017 off to an awesome start as far as annuity business goes. We do appreciate the support you have shown us, not only for this year, but for the past years, and we enjoy working with you, and thank you again for your business. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the legal happenings of the DOL. A lot has happened since the last time we got together, so let's get right to it. From a legal standpoint, last Wednesday, Judge Barbara Lynn, a Dallas federal judge, upheld the Labor Department's fiduciary rule, which delivered another legal defeat to the financial industry. In her 81-page ruling, Judge Lynn shot down each of the major arguments submitted by the plaintiffs, which were made up of a group of 9 different financial industry trade groups. This makes the financial industry 0-3 in legal cases challenging the rule. Now, I won't go into great detail in regards to the judge's reasons for upholding the rule, but in general, she felt the department did not exceed their authority and that the rule itself was reasonable. This ruling comes just 5 days after President Trump signed an executive order directing the Secretary of Labor to examine the DOL fiduciary rule to determine whether the rule may adversely affect an individual's ability to gain access to retirement information and financial advice. Now, there was a lot of confusion as to what President Trump's executive order really meant. Many had thought that the order he signed would delay the effective date of the DOL rule for 6 months. The reason they were thinking this was that some organizations, such as Reuters and other reporters, had reviewed a draft of the order. And in that draft, the President was asking for a 180-day delay in a scheduled April 10th effective date. However, the actual order which the President signed did not go as far as asking for a delay. It simply asked the Secretary to examine the rule. So because it didn't, the bill he actually signed, or the law he signed, was not the same as the draft, it led to a lot of confusion and conflicting articles to be published. Now, with all that being said, many had felt that a thorough examination of the rule would require much more time than is needed before the April 10th effective date. Therefore, a delay would inevitably be requested anyway. Well, in fact, just last Thursday, the Department of Labor filed a notice with the OMB, which is the Office of Management and Budget, to delay implementation of the rule via a notice of proposed rulemaking. Now, the OMB reviews generally take from 10 to 14 days, and then once the OMB approves the proposal, the Labor Department will send the notice to the Federal Register for publication. That usually takes about another day. So we're probably looking at a couple weeks here. So with all that, we are really in the same position today that we were a few weeks ago. The only thing that's clear is that nothing is really clear. As it stands now, the rule is set to take place on April 10th, 2017, with a good chance that in a few days we could learn that it could be postponed for a few months. So with all that being said, URL will be ready to assist you in writing business come April of 2017 under full compliance of the rule if need be. So what does all this mean? Well, yes, there's still a lot of confusion as to the rule, as to what will be happening or not happening to it, and when. However, there is one thing that is sure. no matter when or even if the rule becomes effective, working with annuity clients going forward will require that you work in a fiduciary manner. This means that you will need to act in your client's best interest. Now, I know we have all been waiting for weeks and months for someone or some event to postpone, to cancel, or to change the rule. This may or may not happen, but regardless of if it does or not, even with all the confusion to the rule's future, most broker-dealers are indicating that they will continue to move forward as if the rule is in effect. Now, back in December, I had met with the leadership of 8 different insurance companies, and at that point, every single one of them indicated that they would welcome a delay in the rule and they would probably take advantage of it. This was not because they didn't want to work in the best interest of the client, because they do. It was because that there was just so much work to do on the insurance side that it was going to be very, very hard to be ready to implement the rule effectively by April 10th. Now, insurance carriers do want to work in the best interest of your clients, and they want you to work in the best interest of clients. I personally feel that the insurance industry has a much more difficult job in getting ready for the rule than the securities industry does. Having all the tools in place will be much more difficult because for the insurance industry, that is, because the security industry already has a lot of those rules and tools in place. The same ones that the Department of Labor was requesting. Insurance companies, IMOs, and agents, we did not have all that in place, so it's going to be a little more difficult for us. Regardless, any way you slice it, with a rule or without the rule, our industry before too long will be working in a fiduciary manner. So you need to get your hands around this. It will affect how you promote, how you present, and how you write qualified fixed indexed annuities. In the long run, this is a good thing for everyone, but it is going to be different. You know, as we talked about on previous webinars, under the new rule on qualified business, if you're an insurance-only agent, for instance, you're going to have to disclose that to your client and get a disclosure sign saying that they understand that. You have to disclose your commission to them. You get that signed. So there's going to be a lot more steps in the process of writing business. You'll also have to work with a financial institution, and that's where URL comes in. That financial institution will have to review all your documentation, review as to why you sold a particular product to the client, make sure it's in their best interest, and then they'll have to approve it. And then once they approve it, then it goes to the home office, and they have to do pretty much the same thing. They have to review it, make sure everything's in the best interest of the client, and approve it. Then the normal process as we know it today continues. You know, getting transfer paperwork out and all that. So it's going to be a lot more cumbersome after April 10th or whenever the rule goes into effect. But URL will be able and willing to assist you to make sure that you're working in a manner that meets all the requirements in the rule. Whether it's April 10th, August 15th, or October, whenever it is, we'll be ready. Now, whether you want to work as an insurance-only agent going forward, or if you want to get securities licensed, URL will have a platform for you to operate under. So as the time to be compliant nears, we will work with each and every one of you on an individual basis to make sure that your business is compliant under the rule. That will be our mission and our commitment to you going forward. Meanwhile, my suggestion, keep plugging away as you have been. We are nearing the time of year, March and April here, that is huge for qualified business, specifically IRAs and SEPs. So now is the time to write that business while the procedures and process of submitting indexed annuity business is still streamlined. I can't emphasize this enough. There are a few new index products that have been introduced in the last few weeks. Some products have been designed for growth. Some have been designed for income. So whether you're looking for that very competitive product for your client, please give us a call. We'll be glad to design a case that's best for them. And even if you have a need for fixed traditional products, right now there are some very attractive rates out there that will help your clients. So now is the time to get busy on that business. I wish you success in your selling, and I thank you again for your business. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks on Tuesday, February 28th at 2 p.m. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.